Another thing that lots of businesses don't take time to do is to have a look at their business in a global and local context. So you can look at your competitors, have a look at what are they doing on their website, what are they doing in social, what are they doing in email, and look at where you compare to them. But also look for external research to validate what your strategy is. If you can say, I know this is a good idea because I can prove there's research that says 40% of people want to do this thing online, then you're going to get more traction and more buy-in to what your plans are. But also think about your own organisational readiness to do what you're asking it to do. Do you have the right resources? Do you have support from senior management, for example, to actually make the changes you want to do? And use a framework to pull these thoughts together. And that could be anything. Those are just some examples. But it's really just about what does the business look like today? What do my competitors look like today? So that you've got that and you can keep revisiting that and see whether your strategy has actually made some changes. So define the core areas, look at what's important, look at your competitors, but don't forget to look at yourself. Look at how you're going to achieve these things and look for formal research as well. Another tip is also to take management through the journey. One classic example that I had was working in a mobile phone company where everyone was convinced that the website was fine and they always looked at competitor websites. But if you actually make someone do the task on the website that you're asking your customers to do, so in this example we took very senior executives and said, go ahead, go and buy a mobile phone across these competitor websites, you could do it fine, go and buy it on your own website. Well, hang on, what handset is that for? I don't understand the pricing. And suddenly they realised, we've got a problem here. So suddenly there's more buy-in and there's more support to actually get more budget to fix those things that everyone's maybe been aware of for a while but hasn't got the management support to do. So that's always a good thing, is literally walk people through the processes on your own website. Getting stakeholder buy-in is really important as well, and you need to think about who are the stakeholders, not just the obvious ones, not just the marketing guys that you already know and talk to, but other people external to those groups as well. They might all have different priorities and be actually trying to talk to the same group of customers at once. You might have the sales guys, the e-commerce guys, the finance guys all emailing the one customer saying, we've got this great offer, here's our new phone, and by the way, your bill's overdue. And they're talking to them all in different ways. And that can be really confusing from a customer perspective, but also think about what it means within the business. So understand where those conflicts might come and how your strategy is going to help support those. Another important thing is when you reach out to broader stakeholders, so think about technology, think about finance, you have stakeholders within a broader area of the organisation than you could ever get to on your own. And an example of this is just having eyes and ears in other areas of the business. So I've worked in an environment where the HR department were running off and basically developing a brand new website that was all about recruitment without thinking about the fact, well, hang on, we could be doing that on our own website. So they're spending more money, they're engaging different agencies to do all sorts of work. And it was only through the fact that I had other stakeholders within that group that could say, well, hang on, you should be talking to the digital guys, that they were able to actually get me involved in that project and I could help streamline and make it all work together. So think about developing a stakeholder map and make time to speak to those stakeholders regularly. Make structured meetings with them. Often people really want to help you in the digital strategy. They've got great ideas. There's nothing wrong with having a formal structure to actually engage those people and say, let's form a steering committee, let's all talk about what the business wants digital to do and communicate with those guys. And don't forget technology and finance, because they're really important. The reason they're important is because you need to have enough budget to do what you want to do. Your budget is never going to seem enough. Just, I think, accept that and work a way around that. So a big part of your success can actually be influencing other people to spend their budget online. So think about who wanted to own those various elements. Think about whoever it was that said, oh, I love social media, I think the business should be doing more in social media. You might actually be able to get some funding from those people as well. So talk to them about those opportunities. And also be clear about where the link is between a budget and your objectives. If you have to sacrifice budget, you need to understand what the implications of that will be. And to be honest, that's always going to happen. Your budget is always going to be trimmed. At some point in the year, someone will come and say, I need 20% of that budget back. You need to understand, well, what does that mean? Are we not going to do that search engine optimization anymore? Does that mean I can't launch that new website? So that you can play that back to the business and say, that's okay, I can give you the money back, but the risk is this, and make sure that they're bought into what that risk means to them.